Hey guys, just wanted to do my reaction video to The Flash Season 4, Episode 16, Run, Iris Run. It's the highly anticipated episode, and already generating a lot of controversy just because Iris has generated a lot of controversy. She has become more divisive ever since especially since spending less time away from journalism, or especially becoming a member of Team Flash. This is the episode where I would say that the episode where Meta, who has the power to swap DNA, or at least maybe not swap DNA, well, at least that's how he described it. He basically has the power to transfer abilities, or he transfers Barry's powers to Iris, and so he gets to walk a mile in his shoes, and now gets to go onto the field. So I feel, like I said, I'm going into this with an open mind. This is a trope that's been done before in Smallville, with both Lois Lane and Lana Lang both getting Clark's powers, and walking a mile in his shoes. And I think this is I don't know. I just feel like just her being out in the field, and Barry having to be behind the desk, as opposed to be at least it's naturally a character arc has to come from both of them, or at least one of them, or at least from Iris doing this, because doing something like this, and I'm trying to go with an open mind, and of course people who are Iris haters are just gonna find some reason to complain and feel like she's everything wrong with the show. She's too, and all this other stuff, but I'm gonna check it out, see what this is about, and see what comes from this.
This is why he's so smart. DeVoe boosted his intelligence with neurochemical engineering powered by the dark energy from the particle accelerator explosion, and if we build our own, we can do the exact same.
Wait, you wanna blast your brain with 10 billion joules of dark energy?
I've harnessed energy from the particle accelerator explosion before, and I can do it again.
Yeah, but Harry, re-engineering your brain's neurochemistry, that's...
DeVoe did it.
Too risky.
Of course it's risky, but if we succeed, we will save the lives of the 4 remaining bus metas, including a member of our team.
You're talking about intense amounts of dark energy going right into your brain, right into that cat that turned a mac and cheese loving pacifist into a homicidal maniac.
Hey, that is not going to happen.
Well, I can't take that chance anymore, Iris, so if anyone needs me, I will be downstairs in my tiny guest quarters until this is over.
There are still 3 bus metas out there, and we're gonna need your help to find them and protect them.
Iris, the only person I need to protect from now on is good old Ralphie boy.
You are part of this team.
Yeah, and I'm the only one with a body that DeVoe is trying to snatch. You don't have any concept of how dangerous it is for me out there.
Yes, I do.
How could you?
Because I am the leader of this team.
Yeah, that's right, you are. But you're always back there, hiding, safe and sound.
And you're gonna
While
go
the rest
hide in
of
your
us
room
are
with
out
a
in the
pussy.
field, putting our lives on the line.
And you're not.
You shouldn't be using the powers you've been given this way.
I'll use them any way I see fit, including frying you to a crisp if you move any closer.
Oh, I don't think you will. You don't want to hurt me or anyone in this bank. You can still walk away from this. But the moment you touch that money, your life changes forever. Now, you don't really want that, do you?
Maybe you're right. Oh, my powers. They're gone. Hey, buddy, you're a real...
System's evolving. There's a 67% chance you're gonna spill that mustard on the floor. Oh.
Okay. How did you do that?
Well, I simply analyzed your eating habits and extrapolated them into a predictive behavior model, all within 4 seconds. The cap.
When I mentioned spending more time together, I meant family barbecues, not questioning people of interest.
I know, I just failed every once in a while.
Who says you are?
Ralph.
Ralph, he should talk. He won't even leave the building.
I know.
No. Let her go.
Put the gun down. I said put it down.
Oh, you idiots.
did this, not me.
I got him. I lost my speed.
What do you mean you lost your speed?
Guys, I think I found it.
Would that work?
I mean, yeah, it could. As best I can tell, Matthew's abilities work by melting down the highly concentrated bonds between DNA. That makes them totally pliable so he can extract them and infuse somebody else with the exact same meta DNA.
I lost my speed. I lost my job at the CCPD. Just feels like DeVoe is slowly taking everything away from me.
He hasn't taken everything away.
Wow, it's super annoying.
Here! Oh boy.
Okay, Iris, there are 5 people trapped on the 14th floor. Just get them out of there as fast as you can. Iris, what was that? Iris!
My leg is pinned. I can't move.
You have to phase through it.
What? I don't know how.
You have to vibrate your whole body, okay? You have to feel it.
Going up.
There. You weren't ready.
I saved a lot of people last night, Ralph.
Yeah, and Cisco had to save you. All right, look, we
And
just
you
need to make
didn't
sure this
bother to
doesn't happen
help
again.
in
We have
any
to
way,
find
shape,
Matthew
or
Kim and
form when they
whoever
say
he
sue it
transferred our
up.
prized powers to.
How close are you to
Fuck
reversing
you.
this?
1, we stimulate your synapses without using dark matter.
Fine, no dark matter. And 2,
The minute you start acting like Locutus of Borg and start assimilating everybody with your Borg chair,
you can vibe me back to my Earth, okay?
okay.
All of you to me. Barry, when I was a reporter, I was always in the field putting myself in danger for a story. And after last year, for some reason, that just stopped. Maybe it was because of Savitar, maybe because you were gone into the Speed Force. I don't know. But I quit my job. I joined this team, and now, for the most part, I just stay here while all of you are out there putting your lives on the line.
Because of our powers.
No, it's not just that, Barry. And it took me getting these powers to realize it. But now that I'm the one that has it, it's my turn to do what all of you have been doing.
I don't think so. You just gave them to me.
What are you talking about?
You didn't know that? When you took powers from him, you gave them to me. And I'm gonna get what he couldn't. Money!
Money!
Okay, that's it, Iris. Keep going. Keep going. Long live rock and roll.
What does he do with anything?
Right here. Bigger one.
What do you mean?
The guy we mentioned, Clifford DeVoe, he isn't gonna stop until he gets all the bus menace. Which means we have to stop him. We could use all the help we could get.
Are you sure I can make a difference?
Absolutely.
I was wrong. You make one hell of a Flash. In or out of the costume.
Thanks.
This is getting
What up?
repetitive, where it's
Yeah.
like, be a
I think
jerk,
maybe
be a
it's time that
coward, be a
Clifford
good
DeVoe
person,
be the
be a
mayor
jerk,
of
be a
this.
coward, be a good person.
Is your destiny. It's your way of helping others. But it isn't mine.
Yes! Yes, finally!
This is.
You got the names?
The last 2 remaining bus metas. Janet Petty
Shanna Petty.
and Edwin Gauss.
Gauss. Probably gonna be Body Snatch. Okay, so just like I predicted, it was gonna be a good arc for Well, it was going to be an arc for somebody. It wasn't really so much of an arc for like Barry, just because like they really didn't do anything with him. I guess being it's like not having power because I mean we were, and that's fine. That's fine. That's like a flaw I can forgive the episode for because I mean it's not like we've it's not like Barry's first rodeo having to like have his powers taken away or lose them temporarily. And I guess he can only do that. I mean, I guess he was sort of out of focus, but the thing is that that storyline's out of focus just because you can only do that. You can only do that so many times without making you feel like a retread. But it was nice that at least. So I guess like a problem with the season is that it feels like because of Ralph, who I'll get to in a minute, you feel like Cisco and Caitlin have kind of been like a little bit out, and even Harry have all been like a little bit out of focus, and I feel like but at least like with Harry and Cisco, they had this whole like dynamic about creating his own version of DeVoe's thinking cap in which. He would. I mean, like I said, it's not just about trying to save lives. It's also there's also like a bit of ego playing a role in it. It's like Harry, season 2, we were like, Harry was like, and they really hit us over the head with it about how Harry and even Jesse were considered like were basically supposed to be the two smartest people on both Earths 1 and 2. And so now the fact that it's like you have DeVoe coming into the picture who's basically outsmarting all of them, especially him, it's kind of like a bruised ego thing, and he hates not being the smartest guy in the room too. I mean, not that his heart's not in the right place, but again, ego thing. So which is why he would even go as far as to recreate another dark matter explosion to even boost his intelligence with a thinking cap in general, and then you have Cisco coming in saying like he doesn't want the same thing, and basically we saw like how much of that whole process. We've seen the whole process throughout the season of how like DeVoe is like is like lost touch with he's become more of like the biggest extreme of a guy of high IQ, low EQ, and about DeVoe becoming more emotionally detached and losing touch with his humanity to the point where it's like he just sees his wife as a tool and a means to an end, and basically as an evil secretary that Barry warned her about. He doesn't want Harry to go through the same fate because I mean it's like, well, I figure like I already had to deal with another evil Wells, quote unquote, that he doesn't want the same thing to happen to Harry again. And it was good that he was able to use the thinking cap and a means of helping out Iris create that tidal wave, something that a little trick that even Barry didn't pick up on. I mean, it's like she was still doing like a lot of the same stuff Barry did except for that one thing. So it's kind of was like, oh, like I guess sort of like the student becoming the teacher in a sense kind of thing. I mean, like I said, it's one trick. I mean, of course, Iris haters are going to harp on that, assuming any of them weren't too butthurt about watching it. Probably didn't see it, but whatever. But that was cool that he was able to use the thinking cap and maybe keep up with DeVoe and not have to like go so far, especially with Cisco, instead of just saying no to the idea and actually be willing to help him out to make sure that Harry doesn't go too far over the line to try to help with DeVoe. But getting back to the main storyline with Iris, I like the idea about how being out in, I think she had the biggest, I like that, she had the biggest arc, and it did like address like criticisms about her role in the season by fanboys, haters about her being part of Team Flash and how she was being, how it's like, oh, she was like underqualified, and how it's like, how is she able to, contribute and come up with solutions? Like, she's not a scientist, how can she contribute? Which is like, is a kind of bullshit, because you had HR all last year, like contributing, like using general knowledge and street smarts to help with solution and come up with ideas and, you know, be like the inspiration, like be the idea man in the same way. And just kind of, well, just fill in that, you know, kind of fill in that role and just, you know, prove it. And, you know, I felt like just looked at, Iris is basically filling in that void as like kind of like a female HR, and in a sense, and this is like the thing that I'm getting sick about Ralph Dibny. It's basically like, and this was something that was ironic. It's just like ironic that this happened because this was in like the synopsis for episode 414, subject 9, where you thought like, oh, it said like Ralph was gonna be like, we're gonna like run and hide and just worry about his own survival, and now it's just like. And this is the thing that makes me hate Ralph. Is like, not only was he kind of a sourpuss and being, it's like, you don't know what it's like out in the field. You're not out there putting your risk, like putting your life on the line. And it's like, says the guy, it's like, oh, by the way, I'm going to take what powers and little experience I have and go hide in my room like a pussy. Bye. And it's like, even when they were being told to suit up, Caitlin being told to suit up, vibe. He was just like, no, I got to worry about my own survival. It's like there are other innocent people who had to go in that fire, or just when they were talking about going look for the other bus metas, like they're innocent people too. He's like, I'm innocent. I'm just going to go back to my room and hide. And it's like he's put himself out on the line enough times, and you think that, and so it was like, I was just kind of so, and then it's. That you would think, like, especially in 14, like his character development would stick, and all of a sudden he had a renewed sense of purpose of, like, you know, wanting to take down DeVoe, especially since now he's in the body of Izzy Bowen, who was like his crush. But apparently it's like, no, that's not. But no, it's like the same repetitive arc where it's like he has to be a coward and then only be dissuaded into stepping up again, and or persuaded into stepping up, and it was just like it's so. I'm just tired. I'm just tired of it. It's like if you're really gonna get this repetitive with this arc, it's like why the hell are we spending so much time with them? Like I just feels like, especially when it's like, you know, you already have like Caitlin and Sis. You know, like they're making him the designated comic relief. You already have Cisco for comic relief. You have like Caitlin dealing with her whole Jekyll and Hyde scenario with Killer Frost, and even that hasn't gotten like that much focus, and it's even feel like it's been kind of a, you know, more of just like a source of, you know, it just uses like kind of like punchlines. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. I'm just kind of getting sick of Ralph, and all of a sudden it's like you can't being like, you know, oh, you can't do it. You know, you don't have the experience. I'm gonna go hide in my room. Bye. It's like you. It's like who? It's like just like Joe says. Like who is he to talk when he's like hiding out in his room and just fuck Ralph Dibny. Like he's probably like one of the worst aspects of this season. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says. Like he's just like he has no care. He's like he has little to no character development, and I hope he's not around for season 5. They're just like. It's like between him and, you know, the B team on Arrow, it's like both shows need to like trim the fat, so to speak. That being said, I liked how, I mean, even though he's the one to call Iris out on, you know, not being out in the field much, at least it made her like, you know, be more introspective and think about how much, you know, how far she's gone away from her journalistic roots, something that's been a major source of complaints from viewers, is like how it got less focus in season 3 and how, you know, in season 4, her being the team leader and how being out during all this made her, you know, realize how much she missed it and wanted to get back in the game. And now sort of like, I guess doing about it in baby steps. So she's almost like she's back to blogging, which is like a bit of a callback to season 1 because that's how she started out a journalism career, and that's how she's going to be reigniting it. And there was an interview with I guess I found out through like social media that this episode was going to be like an arc of, you know, trying to slowly get Iris back into journalism, and that episode 21 specifically was going to be a major episode where she was really going to put her journalism skills to use for the first time in a while in terms of helping to stop DeVoe instead of just being, on comms and trying to just leading the team. And it's like we've seen Iris, put her life on the line before. I mean, there's even that whole scene. I think it was like 203 or 204. She was being like she was chased. She was being like, chased by gunmen. Had to like jump out, being chased by gunmen, and granted she had to jump out of windows for Barry to save her, but she's the one who like went in there, unarmed and willing to putting her life on the line. And then there was getting involved with bust the illegal street racing that Wally got mixed up in, knowing that the guy running the whole thing was threatening her life. There was trying to do that whole brother-sister team-up thing, and I think it was like 3/11 last year when she almost died. And so yeah, I mean, it's almost... So yeah, I mean, granted, she had backup, but it's like it was her choice to consciously go in there, knowing the risks to that. So it's not like she never would have done stuff like this before. She's not like she would have put herself in danger before, with or without powers. And I'm glad. I mean, I know that. I'm glad that she remembers that, and we're getting back to her journalistic roots. And maybe this, and it's like addressing some criticism that people have had about her over the years, and I don't have to, and maybe I don't have to, and again, this maybe was like kind of like a production thing of trying to, make sure that she wasn't, shafted kind of in the same extent that Wally has, or even to some extent, how Caitlin, Cisco, and Harry have, but. Again, I miss her being a journalist. That's what she does. That's what we all know she does. And maybe I don't have to be complacent with her just being there just for to make sure that, Candace is on the call sheet and, meets her like 23 episode contract. And it's a step in the right direction in a nutshell. But anyway, guys, pretty solid episode. Give it an 8 out of 10. Points off just because Ralph's a prick and I fucking hate him, and he was kind of a deadweight who didn't contribute anything because he's just there. Contributed the least when he could have. But, anyway, for anybody who did watch it, what do you guys think of the episode? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.